Okay, this is what you're all here for. It's building the offer, building your system. This is the part in the program where we're going to create a client focused roadmap. So from here on out, everything that you put into this is going to be your content for social media, landing pages, websites, your brochure, or your guide or your checklist. Like we're really going to utilize this to be that one stop shop for you. So everything that you're doing now is coming into place here. So you've crafted your brand story, right? You've identified your perfect prospect and you've been super clear on your vision. Within that, we've also come up with, what's your mission, your values have likely been adjusted at some point. So we've got to translate those insights into a structured system that serves your ideal clients on a much deeper level, and it's going to set you apart from your competition. This is the part where we really get right here with our clients versus just being that agent who can just help someone buy or sell a house. This is the part where we're going to create that client focused approach that's going to deliver exceptional value, build trust, and ensure a smooth and successful experience for every client, in turn creating those raving fans that want to come back to you every single time. So we're here. Congrats. So here's how this worksheet's going to go. So the first thing is that in step one, you are going to identify like the key stages. Now, based on what you're learning from your perfect prospect interviews, I really want you to think about their journey from start to finish. What are the major steps that they go through when buying or selling a home? Um, what do you do? So make sure you place those steps in order of importance. I put that an example here for you, like consultation, property search preparation, offer and negotiation, contract and closing, or post closing. Now, maybe in your process, you don't have 5 steps. Maybe your process, you have 3 steps. That's fine. We just want to make sure that we are essentially like putting your steps in logical order. So just write out your answers in step one in the spot. In step two, this is where we're actually going to define what happens in each of these steps, and then we're going to highlight your value. So in this part, we're actually putting out a detailed roadmap. So you can see here that I've got some examples. You can feel free to use these examples. But I also want you to, like, what do you do, right? I want you to break down each stage that we just identified in step one. So everything that we've identified up here, we're going to break down into very specific actionable steps. So what specifically do you do during each step to guide your clients through this phase? Okay. And then with each step, like think about what unique value you offer. How do your skills, your experience, and your approach, how are they beneficial for your client? And think about the pain points and think about the priorities that you identified, your client's priorities that you identified during your interviews. Um, how does your system, how do each step address those specific pain points? So, for example, some ideas for like consultation, video call or phone call or coffee date, whatever, to understand your needs and goals. We're gonna, do a market analysis or a market review, whatever you want to call it, and property valuation. For buyers, you might do a pre-approval. For sellers, you might do a home staging consultation, pre-inspection, whatever. But what do you actually do? So write that out for each step. I gave you a couple of examples here. If you're having trouble figuring out what you do for your clients, this is where free writing comes in. This is why I have you do free writing this entire time, because all you got to do is like take 10 minutes and write out everything you do and everything you want to do for your clients from start to finish. I don't want you to leave anything out. So things that you do now, and then things that you already think, man, based on what I talked to Joe, and Joe said that this would have been great. If I could have done this, this would have been great. Write that down. Is that something you want to actually implement in your business? Write that down and define where it goes. This is kind of like a little puzzle, right? You got to prioritize your steps in logical order. Once you have all of the steps listed out, it's like the puzzle. You just got to pick it up and put the piece in the right place, so you can see how it fits and how it connects to the next step. The reason why we want to do this is because we've got to make a clear path for your clients to follow. And what happens when you do this is it makes your consultation calls so much easier. So when we move on to the script version and move on to the conversations and the talking and the actual converting your clients, you've got a clearly defined system. So it makes it like it's a no-brainer. It's like every single time you talk to a client, this is what's going to happen. An example for me is I have each step named, right? So I'm gonna, after we write it down, we're going to give it a unique name, something that like identifies your brand. This is all about branding. Mine is the dream method, as we've heard before. And my first step is discovery. So one of the things that I do in the discovery phase is this is for me when I'm getting the buyer and seller agreements signed, right? So I do that before I even move on to anything else. Like if we decide in this first phase, which is sometimes a video call, sometimes it's a phone call, if we decide that there's a connection and we want to do some sort of working together, then we send over the buyer or listing agreement. And that begins the second phase, which is the refine phase. And so when I'm talking to my clients and they ask me about, the process, it's a really simple conversation. Hey, after this first phone call, what's going to happen is we're going to decide if we like each other. We're going to, and if we do, and we decide we want to work together, I have a video I'm going to send you. It's an educational video on what the Washington real estate brokerage law is all about. You're going to have some questions for me. And then we're going to hop on another call and we're going to get those questions answered. And then once you do, then we're going to have to sign our agreement. And there's a video to explain what the agreement's about. And I'm also here for additional support. So it's really easy once you know exactly what happens in that step to explain it versus a lot of times what I see now is, okay, so we're going to have to get you pre-approved. We're going to have to do this. We got to get a buyer agreement signed. Okay, so this is how the buyer agreement works. And it starts to become a little like we can't be confident in speaking about the agreement, whether it be a listing or a buyer agreement. So having each step clearly defined, descriptively and concisely makes it so your conversations are stronger and much more effective. So in step 3, you're going to write down the name of each step. Okay. I gave you some AI prompts. This is when AI is really going to come in handy. So you're going to want to have your brand voice pulled up. You're going to want to have your client detail, your client, perfect prospect, ideal client details available for you, because this is going to be really helpful. So you can ask AI to generate creative names for each step of my system that reflect my brand values. You're going to paste those in there and resonate with my ideal client and paste those in there. Hint, if you're actually using this if you're doing AI, like I taught you to just use the same chat for all of this discovery work, you won't actually have to paste in your brand values or your ideal client. It will already be there for you. But if you're using a different chat for everything, you're going to have to remind AI what your brand values and what your ideal client are. After you've named them, okay, we got the dream, DREAM. After you've named them, you're going to go a little bit deeper. So this might take a while. I mean, this piece of it took me a couple of weeks to do. But the reason we want to do this is because we really want to make sure that your ideal client fully grasps the process, but also that you fully grasp the process. Because as we start to identify things and we start to build things, it sometimes becomes a little bit confusing in our own brain. Right. And we kind of want to word vomit when we're explaining it. So this is to help you break that down in a very simple, concise manner, so that you can easily explain it to your client when they're in front of you and to your audience, whether it be a cold audience, warm audience, social media, wherever, so that you can explain your process and explain what you do in a way that is authentic to you. You're likely going to want to use AI to help you with this. That's totally okay. So I gave you a prompt here that you can use. So write a persuasive paragraph in second person in my brand voice describing my step name. And then you're going to copy and paste the text that you put in step 2 for your step. So if your step 1 is consultation, you're going to paste in all of these things, consultation, or you're going to paste in the new name. So discovery, consultation becomes discovery is what I'm trying to say. So the prompt says, write a persuasive paragraph in second person in my brand voice describing my discovery step. And then you're going to copy and paste what actually happens in that step that highlights the benefits for my ideal client and emphasizes my unique approach. And it's going to spit out an answer. And I'm going to show you an example. So you should get something that looks kind of like this. So you want to build wealth and upgrade your lifestyle. You're feeling stressed about the process and you need clarity. You need an agenda. During the discovery phase, we need to define your vision. So this explains what the process is. Then you're going to do that essentially for each step. And you're also going to explain why does it happen at this point in the process. The reason why you want to explain that is because that way, when you're trying to overcome objections, like a lot of times, like, why do we have to get the agency agreement signed? Well, explain why it happens. And you want to explain why it happens in a way that is speaking directly to your client. The real life example, I'm going to change what I have written here so you can see it. So I'm going to copy this AI prompt, write a persuasive step in my brand voice. Now, the one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to paste in my brand voice because it already knows my brand voice because I'm using the same thing. And under step name, I'm going to paste discovery. And then I'm going to paste the text here. Okay. Paste the text. Okay, so it says, so the command now says, write a persuasive paragraph in second person in my brand voice describing my discover step. And then I'm going to paste it here. You want to build wealth and upgrade your lifestyle. You're feeling stressed about the process, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, and then it says at the end, explain why this step happens at this point. And we're going to hit enter. So if you can see what it looks like here, this is what it comes back with. Okay, so I went ahead and I typed in, write a persuasive paragraph in second person of my brand voice. And then my brand voice describing my discover step. And then I pasted the text that highlights the benefits for my ideal client, emphasizes my unique approach. And this is what it comes into. So ready to step into a life of greater freedom and abundance. It all starts with clarity and a well-defined vision. In this discover phase, we'll dive deep into your dreams and aspirations, mapping out a clear path toward your ideal lifestyle. We'll create a tangible vision board, your dream map, to keep you focused and inspired throughout this journey. To empower with your financial confidence, we'll connect you with trusted lenders who will help you unlock your true buying potential. And to ensure a smooth and efficient process, we'll handle all the essential paperwork and disclosures up front. So then the why it happens is this foundation of clarity and preparation sets the stage for a stress-free and successful real estate experience. So you're going to do that with each of these steps. If you need more clarity on this, just ask me. And then we're going to give yourself a name. So you want to make it something memorable and meaningful. It's got to reflect the value of it and your brand identity. So I've mentioned before, like mine is the dream. I sell, I have the dream method. I have dream values. I have the dream framework, right? I sell it. My value is a dream. My identity is a dream. I believe in dreams and accomplishing your dreams. And so the other thing is that it reflects the value of the program, right? So the dream method it's for home buyers and sellers who want to find that dream lifestyle. They want to have a home that fits into their lifestyle. They want to upgrade into their dream home. And then for agents, the dream framework is for agents who want to build a dream life based off of their business. So, or based off of their dreams. So it really makes sense, right? So you want to think of the same sort of thing for your business. A really great way to do this is just use AI to ask it to generate creative name ideas for my signature system that reflect my brand values and target audience. And again, if you are using the same chat and not using a different chat every time you do some work, you won't need to redo your brand values. But if you do, you want to make sure you enter your brand values and target audience each time. And so it's going to come up with some examples. So write out some examples. If you want to put more than one here, do it. But we want to come up with your own specific system, if you will. And then if you want to create, if you're a system or a process, if you're a visual person, you could easily create something like a flow chart or a diagram that helps your clients understand what's going to happen during each phase, if that's something you do. If not, you don't need to do step 6. But what I want you to think about at the end is I want you to imagine you're explaining, when you're done with this, imagine explaining your system or process to a potential client. How would you describe it in a way that is clear, concise, and compelling? And how would you highlight the benefits and value it offers? Okay. Those are what I want you to think about in a way that's clear, concise, and compelling. So we like to talk a lot. I like to talk a lot, as we know, but it's easy for us when we have something we're passionate about to share too much, which can overwhelm people. So, what is a way that you can describe it in a way that is clear, concise, and compelling? Okay. What are its benefits and what is the value? This essentially becomes your elevator pitch, right? So, I have the Dream Method. It helps home buyers and sellers upgrade their lifestyle seamlessly. And then what that's going to do is that is going to get people to ask more questions and then open up the conversation. So, again, I am the founder of the Dream Method. It is a proprietary system that helps home buyers and sellers upgrade their lifestyle seamlessly. So it's clear, it's concise, it's compelling that you want to ask, what does that mean? Right? And does it highlight the benefit and the value? Yeah, you can upgrade your lifestyle seamlessly. So think about that and how you can utilize what you're doing in this exercise to start identifying what you do to people or do for people that is beyond I am a realtor, I'm a real estate agent, I buy and sell homes, I help people build wealth through real estate. Like what's different and unique to you? So this essentially becomes your unique value proposition. Okay, so a couple key things to remember is your system and process should be client focused, it should be efficient, and it should be designed to deliver exceptional results. So I want you to go above and beyond what you know to be great, and I want you to be exceptional. So how can you 10x what you're doing? How can you offer 10x the value for your clients? Because once you do know how to 10x that value, then you can start multiplying, creating raving fans, and that's how the magic happens. So come back to this often, just like your perfect prospect, just like your vision, you're going to have to constantly refine it. So revisit this, refine this regularly, make sure that it aligns with your evolving business, your evolving client needs. It's not a one and done sort of thing, but this is kind of where we're at now. So good luck and have fun with this one.